everyone, PushingUpRoses here, and today we're talking about sound in video games. Specifically some of my favorite sounds that I don't think get talked about as much as, say, Sonic's ring grab or Mario's jump. There are so many iconic stings, fanfares, and sound bites that bring video games to life, and sound is one of the most powerful mediums that trigger nostalgia. For example, how does this make you feel? Or this one. Now, nostalgia is kind of hard to explain. Quite frankly, there aren't many studies on why we feel that wistful kind of way when we hear or see something, but there are some physiological explanations as to why we react to music the way we do, and I think that can also explain how we connect to other forms of sound. How about this sound? How does this one make you feel? Probably panicked. The sound is brooding, continually gets faster, and it's connected with the threat of your character dying. You know it will eventually end as it gets more frantic, and even though this is just a character in a video game, it can cause a mild fight or flight response, wherein the stress of the situation can cause the release of a stress hormone, which elevates your reflexes and heart rate. There is also this well-known sound effect from Metal Gear Solid. This alert sound informs you that there is danger nearby. But we don't just recognize sound effects, we get attached to them. This one is from Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. I call these the "you did the thing" sound. Well, I can't exactly take credit for that, as it is just a variation of the "you got the thing" sound effect from the Zelda series. I used this sound effect for my text message alert a few years ago. I love it so much because it reminds me of one of my favorite adventure games. It's such a pleasant little sound bite and reminds me of my teenage years. But it's just one sound. How could it possibly have such a profound effect on me? Well, it's probably because I played this game in my formative years, probably when I was around 16 or 17. Between the ages of 12 and 22 is when the most significant neurological development happens, so stimulus from music and sound seem to go straight into your memory bank and make a cozy little home there. That is why so many well-known sound effects we heard over and over again growing up spark a strong neural response, like this one. Or this one. Now, this isn't a sound designed to be listened to or enjoyed like the other ones I played throughout this video. It's really not even all that easy on the ears, but it's still a sound that has sentimental meaning to me. I was around 14 when I started role-playing in the notorious Red Dragon Inn on AOL, and I had dial-up at the time, so this sound makes me feel warm and fuzzy like mold. Now, if you're a cranky old fart like myself, this physiological explanation may also contribute to why you just can't seem to get into modern music. Even music you did not like as a kid when it was popular has lobbed itself right at your hippocampus, and it becomes connected to an event or a situation. Here's a song my way too cool for school goth self hated as a preteen, but now loves it whenever it comes on the radio.
Oh my god, I love this song. NSYNC is just the best. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye bye bye.
And here's my reaction to a new artist I had no connection to previously.
There is just no good music out there today. God, why is everything so auto-tuned? Don't people know how to play instruments anymore? Jeez. In my day, we were jamming to real music.
So the connection to sound in particular is very strong, whether it be to a song as a whole or just a couple measures like we're discussing in this video. Now, let's get to some more of my favorite iconic sound effects from video games. We can be here talking about this subject forever, so I have consolidated my list quite heavily, and I'll be focusing on the sounds that have truly stayed with me more than others. I already mentioned Gabriel Knight, but while we're on the topic of classic point-and-click adventure games, I must add the "you did the thing" sound from King's Quest VI. Much like Gabriel Knight, this sound goes off when you have done something correct. It is my personal opinion that King's Quest VI is one of, if not the best, in its series. I played it a lot right before my dad passed away, so even though it's not necessarily connected to a good memory, it still makes me wistful for days past. And I know a lot of people in the adventure game community would probably agree that this sound really does hold a place in people's hearts. While not as well known as King's Quest or Gabriel Knight, both Laura Bow games have sound effects that I just adore. That wavering sting when Laura encounters a dead body embodies, no pun intended, the feeling of queasiness, or even a heavy breathing like, like she's about to have a panic attack. These discovery sounds differ throughout the game. Sometimes they use the clip you just heard, and sometimes they use a variation of the psycho sound effect. When Laura sees these gruesome murders, it really does make me think she's in shock, and I, the player, was also in shock when I first came upon them. Ah, poor porcupine. Why will no one think of the porcupines? I also love the clock chime. The clock serves a very important purpose in both the Colonel's Bequest and the Dagger of Amon-Ra. It indicates a crucial event is about to take place and acts as a sign that the game is progressing. This sound always excited me because it meant I was doing something right, and it equally stressed me out because hearing that almost haunting chime just added to the rather tense atmosphere of these murder mystery games. My aunt has had a grandfather clock in her house since I was a baby, so it also reminds me of a familiar place. I also have a fondness for this door sound. Yes, I like the sound of a door opening, and that is because this door sound is used in every single Sierra adventure game from the early to mid-90s. It's the exact same sound. You come to enjoy it. Even very minor sound effects can stimulate a nostalgic feeling. I love this extremely short bite from the Final Fantasy games. I'll be using Final Fantasy VIII footage for this example. This is such a simple sound, used for scrolling through menu options on various screens, but because I hear it so often throughout gameplay, I've come to equate my memories with Final Fantasy to this more than the game's well-known fanfares. It's actually one of the first sounds you hear in a few of these titles. I also get a little teary-eyed over the sounds of old PC speaker music, and that makes my ears bleed. Ah, it's so wrong, but it's so right. Attention to detail, especially with sound design, can add so much by adding just a little. Even the simplest additions of sound can change the mood, and a lack thereof is oddly noticeable to people. Check out this clip of me with no music or sound effects added. Hello everyone, and welcome to my show. I'm Roses, the dead magician, and today I shall call upon the dark forces of magic to perform a mildly dangerous trick for you that has never been attempted before. Watch. And now here it is with music and sound effects. Hello everyone, and welcome to my show. I'm Roses, the dead magician, and today I shall call upon the dark forces of magic to perform a mildly dangerous trick for you that has never been attempted before. Watch. Even though these tweaks are minor, they change the clip completely. Another thing sound can do is tell a story. We've been using instruments to represent characters for a long time. One famous example is Peter and the Wolf, a children's story and musical composition written by Sergei Prokofiev in 1936.
In the musical score of Peter and the Wolf, each character is represented by a corresponding instrument in the orchestra. Peter by the string quartet.
Following that example, I will be showcasing a track from Commander Keen 4 that also tells a story using different sounds. The story is that there is a family sitting down for dinner and the parents are telling their son Billy to eat his vegetables. Here, Bobby Prince acts out the lyrics to the melody.
Billy's got to eat his vegetables, and there's Commander Keen. Tell him, Dad. He says, tell him, Dad. So his dad goes.
That just makes me smile every time I see it or hear the song while playing the game. I think it's brilliant and fun, and it really makes me visualize Billy, his parents, and his sister perfectly.
His sister now realizes she can get him, so she goes.
Commander Commander Keen is a series of games with a lot of personality and heart, and a lot of that can be credited to an amazing score and quirky sound effects. We can go on and on and on discussing how important sound is in any form of entertainment, but these are some of my favorites and most nostalgic sound effects from video games. My question for you guys is, what sounds, stings, or melodies make you feel sentimental? Let me know in the comments. This has been Pushing Up Roses, and I'm out.
Baby, bye bye bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video on nostalgic sounds from video games. I hope you enjoyed it. This video is brought to you by people like you, so if you want to be a part of this, check out my Patreon campaign, and if you crave mundane social media updates, check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and wherever else I'm signed up. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.